Stacy had just got home from school. She noticed that her front door was open and her parents normally wasn't home by this time. She just thought though maybe her little brother had got home before her and left the front door open. She goes in, and at first she doesn't notice anything until she starts hearing noises, like she hears two men talking. And she gets freaked out and she runs to her bedroom and she hides under her bed. She tries to call her mom. Her mom doesn't answer. She tries to call her dad. Her dad answers. And she tells him what's going on. And he tells her to stay calm and that he's going to call the police because nobody should be in the house. So she's freaking out because she remembers that sometimes her little brother gets home before her. So, being brave, she sneaks out of the bedroom while they're in the parents' bedroom and she tries to look for her little brother. She doesn't see him, so she knows that he's not home yet. So slowly she tries to make it out the front door when she's stopped by one of them. They grab her and they both have masks on. So they take her and they tell her to be quiet and that they're not going to hurt her, is what they tell her, as long as she does what they say and stays calm. They take her cell phone and they just keep driving. And they stop at this abandoned building. And they take her in the building, they tie her up, and they tell her that the reason that they took her was because she basically got in their way. She wasn't supposed to be at the house. And so she's scared because she's thinking they're going to kill her, obviously. Well, after they tie her up, both of the guys end up going outside. So while they're outside, she tries to escape. And she's really young. She's only 14. So she's trying to escape and she ends up getting one hand out. And that's when both the guys come back. And they notice that she's untied. And they threaten her. And they tell her that they know about her little brother. And that if she doesn't listen to them, that they will hurt her parents. So she's scared. So she realizes that she has to at least listen to him for now to be able to find a plan to escape. So that night, they end up staying at that building. And one of the guys stays outside while one stays inside with her. One's making sure that nobody comes around. So she tries to make conversation with the one guy. And at first, he's kind of quiet, and then he starts talking to her. And he tells her some things about himself, but he's careful not to give a lot away about himself. He doesn't tell her his name or anything like that. And she tells him stuff about her. And she asks him why they chose that house. He goes on to tell her that basically it was just random, that they needed money and they were looking for jewelry and stuff to sell, and that her house was one of the nicer ones, so they thought that they could find stuff in it, so that's why they chose that house. So she asked him though, like, why don't they let her go? And he told her that they couldn't. And so she asked him, well, what are you going to do with me? And he just says, we don't know yet. So his phone starts ringing and he answers it. And he ends up going to get the other guy. So they end up untying her and taking her somewhere else. And she doesn't even know where she's at because it's dark and she feels like they've been driving for hours. And they end up pulling up to what looks like a cabin. Well, they take her and they end up tying her up there too. And they tell her that her parents have reported her missing. And they tell her that she needs to call her parents and that she's going to tell them that in order for them to let her go, they need money. So she's scared. She does what they say though. They give her a cell phone and they tell her to make it quick. Because since she's already reported missing, they're afraid that maybe the police will be there and they will be tracking the phone. So they tell her to make it quick what she has to say. And so she calls her parents and she tells them exactly what the two guys told her to say. And they try to talk to her longer, but the kidnappers take the phone. And so she tells her parents where the guys told her to put the money. And so they also tell the parents that they wanted to make sure that there was no cops there. So they told the parents that if they thought something was suspicious or anything, that they would just drive off and not give the girl back. So that night, they wait, because it's supposed to be the next day that they go and get their money. So that night, they end up feeding the girl. They feed Stacy, and Stacy's a little bit confused because she's like, okay, these guys are supposed to be bad guys, but why are they also kind of, making sure she's okay? So she tries to make conversation. It seems like when she tries to make conversation, they only tell her so much. And that night, one of the guys end up staying up while the other one goes to sleep because one's going to be the lookout. And so Stacy wants to try to escape because she figures instead of two guys, there's only one, and she has a better chance of escaping. Well, the guy tells her, like, if you escape, I will take your life. He threatens her. And so she gets scared. So she tells him that she has to go to the bathroom. And he tells her, you better make it quick. So he lets her go. And in the bathroom, she looks for a way to escape. And that's where she finds a window. And next time, we're going to get to part 2. Thank you guys for watching. And let me know what you think.